ピッドが好きだ。お母さんの体内にいるような。
What? Spring, the famed yearly anime season where you'll find quote-unquote anime of the year material buried into the masses of content churned out by Japan over the course of April to June. And whether you're looking for a strange short on a Japanese prefecture, an unexpected sequel, or an unorthodox idea, spring has sprung and we are on the hunt for the next big thing. Golden Kamuy is one big treasure trove of a treasure hunt, set in Hokkaido based around the real events of the Russo-Japanese War. It's a daring tale that blends history and believability into one funny, engrossing package. At least, that's what the manga does. So far the anime hits well enough. Sugimoto and Aspera are already engaging, but you do have to push past the 3D bear CGI in the first, third and, well, probably many more episodes to come to get to what the meat of this anime is really about. Cooking. But if you're not into your mashed up squirrel, then maybe a second helping of some ecchi would suit your palate. This ridiculous show is back with a bite, but unless you're all caught up with the last few series, then it may not be to your flavour. But don't worry, there are plenty of shows about cooking to satisfy your appetite. Yotsubiori is a gentle show about a traditional Japanese tea shop. Kokuryo Bed and Breakfast for Spirits is an isekai in the spirit world, where they haven't eaten any breakfast food yet, so actually I'm just really disappointed. And then sticking with the isekai food theme, Isekai Izakya has far too much text on screen at once. Which part of this do you want me to read? Now, isekais have been prevalent in every season for what feels like the last few years, so it's refreshing when another world comes to us. Only in anime could you watch a show about a girl who finds herself in the human world after crashing into the apartment of a yakuza and then decides to live with him and conduct a normal life. It's ridiculous in all the right places. The characters are punchy and the animation is insanely on point. Hina uses her supernatural powers for the most mundane things. Hitomi finds herself embroiled in Japan's seedy underground, and everything in your being wants to protect Anzu's smile, with Nita rounding off the perfect package of characters brilliantly. It's a comedy that inspires the laugh out loud laugh rather than the internal chuckle, paced in an intentionally erratic manner that makes it a comedy worth noting. Not that we're short on those this season. And if you're the kind of person that likes your comedy meshed with a little romance, then there are a few of those to keep you going in the spring. Like Tada Never Falls in Love, a sweet tale about a photography-obsessed boy and a Western otaku that end up living right next door to each other. The romance is subtle and gently paced, which is a breath of fresh air for this genre. Also, there's an entire episode dedicated to this cat's internal monologue, and if that doesn't say show of the season, then I don't know what does. But if Tada doesn't satisfy your lust for some otaku love, then what about these two? 3D Kanojo Real Girls and Otakoi Love is Hard for Otaku are two shows that play on the romance between nerds. Kanojo is more focused on teenagers, whereas Otakoi is based on 25-year-olds. Both of them have their merits, but if this was a PvP match in an MMO, Otakoi would take down Kanojo without much of a second's thought. You do come away from Otakoi thinking, man, where do I find me some of that? But that's heterosexual love. If you're looking for a bit of love, then this season's got you covered. Whether you want to watch a confession at the crossroads, or find love at the hands of evil, or even join a dormitory, then you can. In absolutely unrelated news, Gegege no Kitaro is an anime about a yokai that helps humans that has absolutely nothing to do with homosexuality, but I'll be damned if this isn't my favourite opening this season.
I keep my ideals lately, not them made. What's coming through?
Boku no Hero Academia got everyone excited by its OP, and this master of modern shonen is back for its third season, continually cementing itself as a phenomenal example of modern fight scene animation. This arc will pit our best boys and best girls against our evil best boys and best girls, in what looks to be the best season yet. But maybe you're not hyped to watch Todoroki jump into a swimming pool, or follow Deku's journey to become the world's greatest hero. Well then perhaps you're excited to dive into a second season of Amatsu, or maybe you fancy another game of Wikos. What about kicking a ball around in Azuma 11, or returning to hell in Hozuki's cool-headedness? Or you could set yourself off into space in the interstellar adventure The Legend of the Galactic Heroes, The New Thesis, which is battleship animation the original was never able to achieve. Or you could be part of the great debate that is manga versus anime. Yes, I'm talking about Tokyo Ghoul Re. Anime lovers seem to like it, manga readers seem to loathe it, and I have no idea what's going on since I dropped the original Tokyo Ghoul around about episode 5. All I know is that this team just don't seem to get along at all. I think they could learn a thing or two from the Phantom Thieves.
You never see it coming.
I bet you didn't see that segue coming. You probably did. Anyway, Persona 5 the animation is the anime adaptation of the hugely successful video game of the same name. And as someone who is a huge fan of it, having sunk literally months of my life into it, I find it hard to separate my feelings for this franchise compared to my feelings for this show. Now I'm just happy there's an adaptation, as it means I get to spend more time with this rebellious gang of teenagers that steal the corrupted hearts of adults. But whether you would enjoy it with no prior knowledge, well, that remains to be seen. If you had to pick one though, play the game. However, I understand committing yourself to a game as large as Persona seems quite daunting. A bit like the commitment it would take to catch up to Boruto The Next Generation, or familiarise yourself with the Seven Deadly Sins franchise as we reach the second half of the second season. You could still be watching Grand Quest, or even Beatless, and what about Katana Maidens? That got 25 episodes, or Yowamushi's Pedal, or the weird Moomin anime Haku is still going as well, and then there's Basilisk and Black Clover, and damn! There are a lot of big properties with shows airing in the spring, and while all of those that I've mentioned have a following in their own right, you could argue that Sword Art Online has the biggest of them all. Alternative Gun Gale is a far cry from the original Sword Art Online, which works in its favour. It has a cast of likeable characters who don't feel too overpowered, the setting is akin to CSGO or PUBG, so fits in with the current gameplay trends, and the animation feels solid. Plus our main girl is adorable, both big and small. Not into sweet girls? Then let's ramp up the edge. Between Magical Girl Sight, a horror show about middle school girls gifted with magical powers due to their own personal tragedies, and then Doraiku, where you can make anyone your personal slave, we're not short on those dark undertones. They continue in Devil's Line, a cop drama stroke romantic vampire story that reminds me of those young adult novels I read in my teens. And there are dark vibes in Dance with Dragons, which has the most unnecessarily complex synopsis I've ever read. Luckily, Magical Girl Ori succeeds its bizarre synopsis to be a genuinely funny mockery on the magical girl genre. And last period, The Journey to the End of Despair defeats its ridiculous name to be a great parody on monetization games. Anime Musume Pretty Derby proves itself to be more than just a horse girl anime. It's also an idol show, with better animation and sound design than it probably deserves. Wait a second here. I think I've heard of another idol show that's supposed to be airing this season. It's called Lost Song. Yeah, that's right. Let me go look for that. Oh, okay, well, what about that sweet piano show? Okay, well, what about that great looking Bones anime? And what about that weird AI show? Oh my god. Thanks Netflix for your streaming walls striking again, and even though they did grace us with the fantastic Agretzko, their watch wall means that great shows will fall under the radar. You could pirate them, just like you'll have to if you want to watch the unlicensed Creature Family Days, or you don't live in France so you can't watch Captain Tsubasa, or you don't want to watch Rias censored. I get that. Who wants to watch an ecchi if you can't watch the ecchiest ecchi version of that ecchi? And while the 4th season of High School DxD is still going strong, the second half of the branded mecha ecchi Darling in the Franxx is soaring in its later half. This show gets better and better, but I've already made enough videos talking about it, and yet I haven't seen enough videos talking about Full Metal Panic and Visible Victory. It's as if the 13-year wait for the sequel was too long for fans. And while this older show has been updated visually, sometimes it's worth sticking to an older aesthetic. There's no denying that this boxing anime looks cool, sounds cool, feels cool. It's a fresh slap in the face coupled with a wave of nostalgia that could be on its way to being a mega hit, following our boxer JD as he fights one underground match to the next in order to survive. Then he meets Yuri, who inspires him to fight harder than ever before. The spiritual successor to the 70s anime Ashita no Joe has certainly sparked a frenzy in the anime community, making a huge impact. But really it doesn't matter what you're watching. A ninja and a samurai, a build driver, a time-travelling butler, or a boy with a sister complex. Whether you're still waiting for answers in Cardcaptor Sakura, or finding new ones in Libra of Nil Admidari. Maybe you've got past the CGI in Fist of the Blue Skies, or are struggling to choose your favourite picture. Perhaps you're out there trying to solve a new mystery or two. Either way, with so much anime airing this season, there's no need to look into the past. There's no need to jump on another world line. Is there?
Okabe Rintaro, 聞こえますか? 私はアマデウス。
ダメだ。過去改変をして世界線を移動するのは。
錯覚に陥るって。
お前のそんなところが。
勘違いしないで。ここにいるのはアマデウス。岡部さん、諦めないから。ちょっと。岡部さん
El Sai Kongru